जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ. Hello friends, my name is Rohit Bapat. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will present you my interpretation of Manache Shlok, the Shlok number 6, that is verses for mind, which is composed by Sri Samartha Ramdas Swami. Let us first see the Shlok and then we will try to understand the meaning of the Shlok. The Shlok is like, नको रे मना क्रोध हा खेदकारी, नको रे मना कामना ना विकारी, नको रे मना लोभ हा अंगीकारू, नको रे मना मत्सरू दंभ भारू. This shlok talks about 4 out of 6 enemies of your internal well-being. That's what we call Shadripu. Shadripu is combination of 2 Sanskrit words, that is Shat, that is 6, and Ripu means enemy. So these 6 enemies for your internal well-being and your mental balance are Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara, Dambha, Lobha. Out of those, this shlok talks about 4 of those enemies that will hamper, that will throw you off balance from the point of view of internal peace, harmony with your life. The first line is Nakore mana krodha khedakari. Nakore mana means O mind, denounce. Nako means no, say no to. Mana means mind. So the first sentence means O mind, say no to krodha khedakari. Krodha means anger. Ha means this, and khedakari is combination again of 2 words. One is kheda and kari means that does. So kheda basically means grief. In general, now this sentence means O mind, denounce the anger which only has grief to offer. Now a lot of people misunderstand the meaning of krodha. Krodha, while performing the dharma, is necessary. If you are on Kurukshetra, there will be krodha, but this krodha can again ultimately bring you the grief, because the end point of anger is always grief. No one benefits from anger. Now we all understand that we cannot be yogis. We will always feel the anger. We will always struggle to control our anger. But we will have to remember this message from Sri Samartha Ramdas Swami is Nakore mana krodha khedakari. Now does that mean you do not do certain things which you don't like or which you want to change? Of course you will want to work towards that, but do it because it's your karma, not because you're angry over something. For example, if someone you thought will perform certain duties did not perform the duties, now it's your duty to let the person know that the duty is not performed well or not performed in timely manner. Telling this, letting the other person know what you expect, is not krodha. This is karma. This is your job. This is your duty to tell the other person. But the moment you start getting angry and start shouting on that person, it becomes anger. Now from this anger nobody gains anything but grief. Because the problem of anger is that there is no end point to the anger. Anger is like fire. It will destroy everything, even though fire is required for the lamp, but the same fire can destroy entire forest. We must understand the power of this emotion and use it to the benefit of mankind, not to turn it into a griefful situation. Nakore mana krodha khedakari. Don't be angry. Don't be angry. And even if you feel anger, try to calm down. Try to control yourself. The second sentence is Nakore mana kama nana vikari. Again, Nakore mana is say no, O mind, say no to or denounce. Kama means the desires. Now, again here, let us not misunderstand the word kama. A lot of people compare the word kama to Kama Sutra because that's the only word people have heard of. Now, kama essentially means desire. Now, what kind of desire here Samartha Ramdas Swami is trying to warn us against is Kama Nana Vikari. What that means is Nana here means of various kinds. In Marathi, Nana can be name of a person, but here in this context, it basically means of different kinds. Nakore mana kama nana vikari. Vikar is any kind of deformation. It's any kind of deformation. Now here, because we are talking about messages for the mind versus for the mind, that is Manache Shloka, this vikar, I personally interpret them as any kind of deformations to your mind, to your mental state. So in the sense, what I understood from this sentence is, O mind, denounce the worldly, uncontrolled, adharmic desires that can only deform your mind and mental state in various different ways. Now these desires can be worldly, can be bodily, these can be uncontrolled, because the desires, there is no bound for the desire. That's the problem. And when the desire takes control of your mind, it has tremendous capability of deforming it, because then your whole purpose of life becomes achieving what you desire for. Now this is an inherent contradiction to the Sanatan teaching that says karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. That means do your duty, do not think about the outcome, do not desire for the outcome. So everything that again Samartha Ramdas Swami is saying is in accordance with Sanatan Dharma. That is, denounce your desires, because what will happen is that you will work towards fulfilling your desires and not towards anything greater good or anything because it's your karma. For example, if someone desires money, everything that the person does in his or her life is towards earning more and more money. Now, once your desire is to earn more money all the time, you do not think about what is karma, what is dharma. Is my way the way of truth? Am I following the truth? Am I being truthful? Am I being dharmic? So once the desire captures your mind, you lose control over the truth, the path of the light. So that's why Samartha Ramdas Swami is saying Nakore mana kama nana vikari. Do not allow your mind to be controlled by your desires. Do your duty because it's your karma, not because you desire something. Now again, people misunderstand a lot of things. This kama, the desire, again I'm saying it's worldly, uncontrolled and adharmic desire. If you desire to have a peaceful, harmonious life, that is not bad. That is not something you should denounce, because that desire is not worldly. That is not adharmic, and that is not uncontrolled, because only you can control what you are feeling. Nobody else can do that. Being harmonious with nature, it does not hamper your mind, it does not deform your mind. Nakore mana kamanana vikare. This kama is basically, that is physical materialistic desires. I'll give you one example how kama destroys your ability to think and sets you on the path of adharma. Ravan, who was the king of Sri Lanka, he was a learned person. That's what we call the Dashagranthi Brahmana. That means who has learned all the 10 Grantha or scriptures which are the basis of Sanatan Dharma. Even though he was so much learned, his mind desired Devi Sita. His mind was completely captured by this desire. That desire set him on the path of adharma and ultimately got him killed. Always remember this example. Even the learned people can develop desires which are not good for anyone, which are not dharmic, which are not for the mental peace or greater good of the human kind. Nakore mana kamana na vikari. Because it will destroy, it will deform your mind, because if you have certain desires, it will not allow you to do or think of your duties. You will get distracted. I know I am telling something that many people will not like, but there is a reason why during the time of being a student, that's what we call the brahmacharya, the students are not supposed to get indulged with the opposite sex. That is the reason, because it hampers your mind and ability to study, because you will always think about the other person instead of studying. You should concentrate on your studies than anything else when you are a student. I know this does not go well with the modern times, but I personally feel when you are a student, your prime duty is to study and nothing else, nothing more than that. The third sentence is Nakore mana lobha angikaru. Again, Nakore mana is, O mind, denounce, say no to. Lobha means greed. Lobha, ha means this. Angikaru. Angikaru again is word made of two words, that is Anga and Karu. Angikaru means make part of your life, make part of your body. Basically, make part of your life system. O mind, never let the greed take control of you. Do not accept it. Whenever you feel greed, go away from that. Because this lobha will ultimately lead you on the path of adharma. If you ask me, no matter what anyone says, all the corruption in the world happens because of this lobha, because of this greed. It makes you corrupt, it makes your mind corrupt, it forces your mind to find ways to steal something from somebody who is actually worthy of it. If you have lobha in your mind, then you will find ways which are not ethical, which are not dharmic. This lobha will make you corrupt. That's why we have so much corruption in our society. That is because people are surrounded or controlled by the lobha. They cannot control their lobha and greed. Now again, to not let greed even occur to you is something that only a yogi can do. What we can do, normal common people can do, because these verses for Mind Manache Shloka are specifically composed for the people like you and me, which are common people. Even if greed comes to our mind, do not let that greed take control of yourself. Do not allow that, because that greed will make you corrupt. And once you are corrupt, there is, apart from prayashchitta, there is no way back. So instead of going through all that process, it's better not to even take the step on that path. See the corruption around you. Why do you think the society, the people, anyone who has some power is corrupt? Because there is always a greed of having more and more power, whether it's political power, it's money power, any kind of power. This lobha will make you corrupt. Denounce it. Do not allow. And then the last sentence, that is nakore mana matsaru dambha bharu. Now here we have two enemies that we talk about. That is nakore mana, that is say no to. Matshara is hatred towards someone, and dambha means deceit. Bharu, according to me, means that puts burden on yourself. Bhara means the weight, heavy weight. Bhara means weight. So that's why what I interpret from this sentence is, O mind, never let the deceit put burden on your true self. Give up the false pride. Don't let the false pride engulf you. Matsara, do not hate anyone just because they have something that you don't have. This matsara makes you not follow the dharma. In the sense, I will tell you what the matsara means. Suppose you do not have a four-wheeler car, but someone has it, and every now and then the person that you see buys a new car, a luxurious car all the time. If you feel hatred towards that person just because that person has more luxury than you, I'll give you news that is called the matsara, because then you are actually trying to compare yourself with the other person. Why would you compare with someone? Live your life. Do not live somebody else's life. Live your life. Live your life with dharma. Live your life with truth. Do not let that matsar or that hatred control your mind. Then dambha, do not let the deceit put burden on you. Now there is a problem with deceit. There is a problem with false pride, is because that false pride will always remain false. Now to keep it up, you will have to do some things which are not true. To keep up the falsehood, you will always have to lie, and that will put burden on yourself. Do not be in the false pride. Do not let deceit put burden on your true self, because this deceit will always carve your mind from inside, just like termites, because you will think more about yourself, your image in front of society, in front of your colleagues, in front of your family, than your own duty. Give more preference to your duty than your image. Your image should be the output and not the goal. Your goal should be to perform your duty with dharma. That's it. Do not think about, okay, what about my image? Your image should be again the output of your karma, output of your duties, not something that you desire for all the time. Why would you want to have this deceit? Why would you want to have this feeling that I'm better than somebody else? Why not do something that is better than anyone? Why not do something that is better than yourself? Try something. Try something that I'm saying. Try this, and that will change the way you look at life. Please try it. Make a vow to yourself that you will be better today than what you were yesterday. You will be better tomorrow than what you are today. If only this you will do, your life will be better. Just question yourself, am I more learned today than yesterday? Am I more knowledgeable than yesterday? If the answer is yes, am I more peaceful than yesterday? Am I more blissful than yesterday? If the answer is yes, you are on the right path. If the answer is no, then you'll have to reflect on your life. Do not compare yourself with anyone, because then that will bring up the hatred, the matsara, and the deceit, the dambha. Don't allow that. So friends, this was my interpretation of 6th shlok of Manache Shlok, that is verses for mind, composed by Sri Samartha Ramdas Swami. Please let me know what you think, what your thoughts are. I'm eager to listen to your comments. If you like this effort, please subscribe to my channel and share this video so that we can spread the message of these great saints to all those people who do not understand Marathi. I took up this project just because there are not many people who understand Marathi, but they are eager to learn, they are eager to know the message propagated by these great saints in Marathi. So help me spread the word. Next time I'll upload my interpretation of next shlok. Till then, Jai Jai Raghuveer Samartha.